All right, everybody, welcome back to 3D6 Down the Line, the most criminally underwatched actual play series on the internet. We are continuing with episode 101 of the Halls of Arden Vul Megadungeon crawl by Richard Barton and using a heavily modified version of the old school essential system by Necrotic Gnome. We have a full house tonight. My name is John. I am the referee for the evening, and going around the horn we have...
Hi, I'm Mike. I am playing Brother Lothar, the 6th level cleric of Odin.
Hi, I'm David. I'm playing Upior, the 6th level magic user.
Hi, everyone. Matt. I play Wolfhead Cheek, 6th level fighter. Leave me alone.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ted, and tonight I will be reprising my role as Mortis J. Gobliono, the most high-tech goblin in all the land.
Very good. Okay, yes, so you are indeed armed with the highest of tech right now. So you have a significant power increase should you be able to apply that tech to certain devices. Right now, it is the 20th of Gelenios, 10:30 a.m. approximately. You are within Captain Lael Jor's private quarters, the captain of the Shining Beacon of Glorious Heaven. And you have retrieved from her quarters the command tablet, a duplicate of what is otherwise known as the Tablet of the Beacon, one of the ancient regalia of the Archontians. You also retrieved a set of keys to the Obsidian Gate, platinum and gold, and you have a data crystal that has the solutions to the propulsion problem on it, as well, is what you've retrieved from here. Retainers that we've got with the party right now are Barrios and Elizabeth, our Beastman and our Druid. Yeah, that is the deal. So you have done remarkably well in checking off your little scavenger hunt for all the necessary pieces to get this shuttle going. So you have Aklacha, the AI, is ready and waiting on board the LOAV shuttle. You've got your fuel tanks, at least there in the hangar bay. You've got your astrogation crystal. You've got your deuterium, helium, arcanum elements that still need to kind of be put together in some sort of chemical fashion in order to facilitate an FTL jump. And you've got your and you just recently last session you got your data crystal that had the tech specs of the Shining Beacon, which if you studied you would be able to use the shuttle with knowledge, actually be able to make it function correctly. And the last thing that you actually need, obviously essential, is a drive rod to power the shuttle in general. And that is in what one of the modules, one of the phased modules of the Shining Beacon, known as the engine room. But of all the places that you've gotten clues as to where things are, this is the one where you don't really have any leads as to where the engine room might be. You are in the Bastion module right now, which is the high officers, the high command private quarters. And there are a couple places. Well, there's one place. You have a couple of places here that like egresses and places that you've yet to explore. So one is the passageway that's directly outside the captain's quarters, which heads north. And the other is you open the door quickly, saw some horrific shit and heard some horrific shit and immediately closed it. So you have no knowledge of what's in that room either, except it looks bad or dangerous or of some sort. So, yeah, that's the deal. Not to say that you're bound to explore the entire Bastion, but the field is wide open. What do you do?
I kind of want to. Well, I just had a quick question. I don't know if we specified are we taking those 2 rods? And if we are, who's got them? I think we saw them, but I don't think we
asked the same question.
Divvy them out.
I'm just looking. Barrios took them. I have them actually already on his character sheet.
Okay.
Cool. He has both rods, and he has the propulsion problem data crystal.
And I believe those 2 rods that you just picked up are those the only 2 on the party? I know that you have, the original golden rod, but that's back in the stash,
that's
right?
Stashed, I believe.
Back in the stash. Okay. And Wolford picked up that command tablet.
Okay. And
Wolford
then
has the tablet. Okay.
Mort is wearing the command bracelet, correct?
Correct. And he has the silver access card that he got off the second officer. That just leaves the data crystal with the tech specs that I don't know who's got that.
Do data crystals take up a slot?
They do, yeah.
I have,
Yeah.
I have an,
I mean,
go ahead, sorry.
No. Go take it if you want, or go ahead and
I
ask.
don't think I have that. I do have an embarrassing admission. I think I overwrote the wrong character sheet. I recall dropping. I know. I gave you guys 200 feet of rope to have room for something, which I cannot now recall.
Room for.
You needed to give away the rope because you went unconscious and you could only do half your.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. It was not to replace it with another space. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
All I have written down
There
for
was
me
no
is
way
the,
to go back.
all I have written down for me is the bag of possible grenades.
Okay, the
Oh,
survival.
those pyramid things, yeah.
Pyramids, yeah.
Let me. I'm now thinking about those data crystals. I don't think that they. I think they would be unencumbering. Why don't we say 10 to a slot? I think would probably be reasonable.
So do you want Barrios to carry the other one as well then?
Yeah, are we putting too many of our eggs in one beast man? I mean, he's got a lot of stuff on there that really sucks.
We've all got a lot of stuff on us.
Well,
It would, yeah. If any of us go down, it's going to really
We
suck.
can go
We
back
also-
to the shuttle and drop
we
off
also
data
have the
crystals.
rug. We also have the rug. Do we just go bop some of these important things back into the stash?
I think
And then that
can-
way we don't have to have them be disintegrated or doom botted or something like that.
It would be a negligible amount of time to, even if we keep the crystals for whatever reason we might want them to, for your
Mhm.
inventory space with stuff like that rope
Yep.
or whatever.
Let's
Why
do
don't we
that.
do that real quick?
Well,
Okay, so the stash.
yeah, I'm fine with that.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the stash is still in the interior of the pyramid, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
And that's where the rug is. So the rug transports you directly into that interior.
Yeah.
Okay, so
One
no
of the
one
rug.
would even witness you. The goblins wouldn't even see you, correct? Okay, cool.
Correct.
All right. In that case, yes, it would take a negligible amount of time, a turn.
All right. Are we stashing the captain's tablet?
I think we should keep that with us.
I kind of thought
We
so
have
too.
to-
But the data
Yeah.
crystals and the platinum rods, we should
Yeah.
stash. Do you want to stash the bag of grenades or keep them?
I mean, right now I still have like 3 slots available on my character sheet, so I'm okay to just keep them for now. We might want them for something.
All right. So we'll stash the data crystals and the rods. And
Do you
keep
wanna
the
ditch some of that
grenades
rope?
and the tablet. What that?
You want to ditch 150 feet of rope and just keep 50 on us? And I can take that back on.
I've
since
got
I'm-
50 feet of rope on both my characters. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Wolford has 50.
yeah,
Elizabeth has 100. Yeah, we got
we do
lots of-
love rope.
Okay,
But
so
yeah, that's
so the only high tech that you're leaving behind is the data crystals. Is that correct?
in the stash.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Is there anything
We'll keep-
heavy we want to leave behind otherwise that's on
I
the
mean,
retainers?
you know, the thing is there's really no point in carrying like things like rations and stuff like that anymore with until something goes horribly wrong.
Yeah. I'm going to keep a ration or two just in case.
Yeah.
Well, as long as you can
Yeah, you
access
know.
the Nutrivore, rations are indeed redundant. But you have to be confident that you can access the Nutrivore whenever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, John, yeah, we've been teleported to weird places before,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
it's really sucked to not have any food.
That's pretty good for now. That frees up a bunch of slots.
I'll throw that alien hand and eyes into the stash as well. I don't think I need that with us. Do we want?
position them so that anyone coming into the like put them on the statue of the Hecate or something like that?
We're just like roll one finger up, you know?
There you go. There you go. I do want to ask you guys: do you guys want to keep the glyph book, or do you feel that it's redundant now that we have 2 technological abilities to read?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, I think let's
I
think
think you
yeah,
can
keep
leave
it safe there. It's a
Stash the
backup in
book.
case we
Our
lose these
backup,
things.
yeah.
Okay, so I dropped the glyph book as well. I'm going to keep the golden net on my person in case it's useful.
Okay.
I still have your wand of lightning, Ted. But
Yeah,
otherwise,
yeah,
I
dude,
now have
that.
3 slots above in 120.
You have 3 slots left, and you're still in 120. Damn. All right.
I'm not. I'm at a hard 90, dude. I have
I don't wear armor. I have 10 AC. That's a big part of it.
That's the
I'd
price.
rather move slower in that instance.
I have 10 AC and 17 strength. So,
And you just brought the golden net from the last trip with the rug, right? You picked that up from the, okay.
in
All
fact,
right, cool.
now that I have that, I'm going to also ditch the chain manacles on me as well. So I will now have. I'm assuming the encumbrance, the unconscious encumbrance has applied until we rest. Is that how we're treating it?
Well, I was going to ask you because we ended up. Remember, we had to retcon it because you got magical healing. So I thought with magical healing, like you
apply
didn't
at all, but I was going to let you keep your ruling if you wanted. If you
no,
don't,
I'm cool with like you have magical healing. You're pretty much set. Right.
So I have 5 slots available, guys. Just FYI.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. So your load is a little bit lightened. You ready to push on? What is your plan for what's next?
I don't know if everybody agrees. I really want to explore a little bit more of this bastion because we need to see if we can find some clues to where the engine room is.
I agree.
And I think we should look in some of these rooms.
Well,
also,
we haven't
remember
actually fully searched the captain's room, by the way. We kind of stepped in and took things off the table, but I don't think we actually searched it. So we don't have to. I'm just saying that's an option. But I agree with Matt that going north from here is a great idea, I would assume.
The other thing I think that would be wise for us to do before we leave is to go back to that little security office and see more of those kind of history files. There might be good hints about where the engine room is back up in there. We saw a few of those. Remember with the exercise tape and the crew manifest.
The security
and
officer's
stuff.
quarters, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, the first officer.
No, he means the one off the little tiny.
Oh, the little one that is
the
the security officer. Yeah.
Yeah, but up in the northeast. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you do right now?
I think we should search.
I like Ted's idea. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to say a turn went by for the jump back to deposit stash, and so stepping into the room. As I said, this is similar to the other like nicer quarters that you've seen, like for single officers, where you've got the wall-mounted bed, wraparound desk, a wardrobe. You've seen that in like this is like the third chamber you've seen that sort of setup, and there is the south wall has the holographic display, which alternates pictures of nebulae and other galactic phenomena, which you've seen in the other thing. But the unique thing about the captain's quarters is that it also cycles through like a breathtaking array of images from the halls of Arden Vul as well, and you can sort of you pick up a couple of familiar ones that you've seen before. And
John, quick question on those. Are those live feeds? Are there things moving around, or are they like still pictures?
They seem to be still.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The same thing with like the nebulae and stuff like that too. Like you don't see any like churning galaxies or anything like that, right?
I have one other question about the holo displays. Given the name, I assume there's some sort of lens that's projecting them upward. It's not it's not like a flat screen on a wall. There's not a physical paneling.
No, there is paneling. So they're massive screens, but they just have some sort of technological element where it's sort of like when you see like a holographic image on like on a dollar bill or something like that, right?
Totally.
So it gives that impression of 3D just enough, like a little bit of a parallax sort of view, but yeah.
Oh, the parallax view, great movie. Yeah. I'm going to get Iso's knife. Doesn't really matter, and I just want to go and kind of like pry it and see if there's anything behind that giant screen. Okay, so you want to like get on the bevel, like the I'm gonna see if it's mounted on something, or if there's anything like if we were to move this screen, if we might find a secret safe behind it or whatever. But rather than do it roughly, I just want to pry and see first.
Yeah, so you kind of get your knife edge in there and you kind of pry a little bit.
I'm sorry, real quick, David, you have the circlet on, so wouldn't you find hidden doors and stuff like that too?
I don't know. Well, there's like a little bit of a gray area. I mean, John can answer this, but there's a little bit of a gray area between like a secret door and like a occluded door, right? Like just like something that's behind.
I just wanted to throw it out there and make sure everyone remembered that we still had it.
Yeah, no, I have the circlet on. I just John, yeah.
Is this part of True Seeing?
Spotting
secret doors are revealed with True Seeing. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So,
but I don't know if a hidden door is.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what exactly. Like if it's a secret door because there's a button on a wall, a loose stone I have to, or if it's magical, that makes sense. But something where it was literally like someone put a TV in front of a safe. Would that be a secret door? I mean, maybe.
Yeah. Or a tapestry in front.
Right?
Yeah. Like,
You know,
no.
like a tapestry.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a great example, Matt. If there's a tapestry in front of a doorway, is that a secret door? Right?
No, it's secret. It's secret. It's secret
Sorry,
doors. As you would just sort of recognize it as a GM of D&D, but right, you know what I mean? Like you know it when you see it. It's basically like if there's an S on the map, you get to see it. If it's a C on the map, you don't get to see it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
Cool.
they leave
So
it
you're
up
gonna
to
try and lift it away.
Yeah. So point being is that if there was a door behind this massive screen, that would indeed be a secret door, and your crown is not picking up on that.
All right.
John, as we kind of explore around this room, Wolford, as he, has this little like beeping, it was the explosive trigger, right, in the first officer's room.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking under surfaces, under the desk, in drawers to see if there's another one of those around, because those are really bad news.
Yes. Yeah. So, before you approach any of the furniture, you kind of do a sweep. You don't see anything obvious anywhere.
If you had said that the bracelet like allows me to issue commands to tech devices, so I'm playing with the wristband to see if I can communicate with anything in the room, like say the television screen.
You cannot. No.
Okay, that's too bad.
So close.
All right, so I guess we open some drawers and cabinets and hope we don't explode.
Toss the bed, search the desks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'll take the wardrobe.
There's not much more that's interesting here other than what I've already told you. The wardrobe does contain 2 light blue jumpsuits.
Ooh, light blue. Ooh.
Yeah. You've seen those before. Those appear to be the standard uniform for high command. And there is the same strange footwear I believe that you found in the first officers, where it's like Fremen boots, sort of thing, like desert boots.
Must be like ship's boots or something.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're like zero gravity boots or something.
Do they fit goblin feet?
No, actually, they're actually too big for human feet too.
Okay, well, then
the rudishva feet. Okay.
Yeah. The only other 2 items of note that you guys didn't really kind of go over again, there is the new Coder 3000, which is the egg one on the tripod that projects holographic and can record holographic. And then there is another operator card for the point defense array. But
the multicolor card, yeah.
Yeah, it's exact duplicate of what.
Yeah, Wolford has one.
Yeah.
Do we want to grab another one? I mean, those aren't encumbering. Right?
Yeah. Who wants it?
Okay.
I just got a silver card. I don't.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
big thing here is, of course, was the orange plasteel table that was right in front of the door that had the tablet of the beacon right there on it. So that was the big find for here.
Would the table look good in the stash as like a little central coffee table vibe?
You know what it looks like more is like a very futuristic looking lectern. So like where you would put like a book to a massive tome to read.
Oh, that's cool.
This will really bring the room together, guys. I think we should think about coming back for it.
It would look very good in a necromancer's lab. Let's put it that way, David.
Ooh, yes.
All right.
Should we
go north?
I think we're good.
Let's do it.
Okay, cool. So we'll say it's a turn to turn over the captain's quarters.
Yeah.
So you go back out the door. Do you shut the iris door?
I think that's a good idea.
It's just kind for the next party.
Shink. Now that door is the only one where, maybe not the only one. The only one that you're aware of right now where, no, this is the second door where only the yellow card works. No other card. Okay.
Not even the silver card?
Not even the silver card.
Okay.
The only other place where the yellow card was the only one that works was the teleporter that took you to the bridge in the first place. That was behind that force field. Okay, so directly outside the door and right to your left, there is a passageway going north. I told you when you kind of peeked down there with your continual light that you saw a dark room that had like metro rack shelving on it.
Yeah.
But you haven't wandered in there yet.
Well,
do we hear anything coming from that direction, John?
You don't hear anything. No, everything smells fine too.
Okay.
The little Roomba is sort of making its way towards you again after doing its rounds to the east.
Right. So it's as the map is drawn here, John, that is right up to the entrance to that room.
It is 20 feet before it opens up into the room.
Okay, great.
You step in.
Well, let's move up to the opening.
Okay. Whoever's up in front, I assume you have a continual light thing, and that illuminates what appears to be again a plasteel, no sharp edges. Chamber that is 30 feet north to south and 20 feet east to west, and you are coming in on the southeastern side, on the eastern side of the southern wall. So the walls of the chamber are set with wire shelving, but the wire shelving is actually made out of white plasteel, so it doesn't look like chrome. It's actually just white. It matches the rest of the room. Most of the shelves are empty. There are some, except for like there's a couple of crumpled up paper-like things that are like waxy in some sort of shape, and you can see that each of them has a set of rudishva glyphs on one of their sides.
Okay, Wolfhard will carefully enter the room, looking up, looking around, make sure there's nothing going to drop on him or something going to rush out from the shelves. He's curious to read what's on those papers.
So it appears that it was some sort of like basic rations that can be rehydrated. So each glyph is sort of like the name of some sort of strange vegetable or meat that you're not, like it's just a word that doesn't mean anything to you, but you can glean that it was likely food at one point. However, scattered among those wrappers, you do see that first of all, what you see there are 3 empty data crystals with no rudishva glyph imprinted on them, so they can be actually loaded with information should you wish. You could do that by actually using the new coder 3000 back in the captain's quarters, right? Like you could record yourself, and then you could upload that into a data crystal, and then you could have, for posterity, right? Whatever. And
for our next characters.
In addition, you finally find, although it's a little bit anticlimactic, you finally find a piece of rudishva weaponry that is whole and functioning, but maintain yourselves because it is not a laser gun. What it is a collapsible ballistic baton.
Ooh.
So it is it's 40 inches long, so it can be extended quite long. Hardened plasteel, completely collapsible. It can sort of be whipped out, like a police baton sort of thing. And yeah, so it basically functions as a warhammer for all intents and purposes.
That's pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
The only downside is you look like a real jerk wielding
it. I look over my shoulder at the cleric and say, "Hey, no blades on this. Want to give it a swing?" And he tosses it to you.
Sure, I will line it up and I will try it out, John.
It's pretty.
You have
pretty
pretty protesting sweet. College students you can use it on, Mike, or.
Well, just close your eyes for a second, Mort.
Dead.
John, yes, I will try it out. First, I'll swing my mace around and maybe, I don't know, whack like a pillow or something. And then I'll try this new collapsible warhammer thingy.
Yeah, it doesn't appear to be magical in any sort of way, but you are impressed with like its weight and its build. It's just very, very lightweight, but it has like a punishing amount of force behind it should you wish.
How far did you say it collapsed down?
It collapses down to like a nothing, like an 8-inch little baton. You know what I mean?
Cool. Can I collapse it down into its thing and then maybe like stash it inside a boot?
Yeah. How about that?
Perfect.
Sure.
Nice.
But now it's going to smell like foot.
Which hammer? Whoosh.
The boot.
That's not a hammer. This is a hammer.
So that's all you seem to see here.
Or do you mean a tactical or you call it ballistic?
They call it ballistic baton. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Fine.
Do you want to? You guys, I don't believe we asked specifically if we head back down south to where the cleaning robot emerged from.
That little nook.
The nook. Is the nook a solid wall, or is it a nook with a little, doorway that opens up and the thing comes out.
Can we put a pin in that for a second?
Oh, sure.
The storeroom. There were no exits.
No.
Your crown did not turn up any secret exits, anything like that.
No.
And we looked at all the shelves, and this is what we found. We found some. Are the rations no longer edible?
No, there's
They're
like
just
nothing
like
in there.
wrappers,
They're just
right?
wrappers. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just the wrappers.
This looks to be like a supply closet of some sort that's been thoroughly ransacked.
Thoroughly ransacked. All we found is one weapon. Okay, go ahead, David.
That's it. I mean, I just wanted to be thorough there because I couldn't recall if we had looked to see if there was a slot that it emerged from, or if it was just that it like rested there, plugged into the wall.
What are we talking about?
The nook that the cleaning robot emerges from. I'm cognizant of it because it could potentially be a pathway northward for a robot-sized thing.
Yeah, it's just a nook. Your Iron Crown confirms it. The only thing in the nook that's of any interest is that there is a charging port for the Roomba there.
Cool.
Oh, so it doesn't. It just is a station. I thought it was like a little doorway that it came through.
Nope, it's just like
a little cat door.
Lothar, I believe that is a magical port. You might put your finger into that slot and see if it imbues you with power.
Yeah, lick 2 fingers and touch both of those little metal things.
Sadly, I think I might actually be smarter than your wizard, so I'm going to not.
You are. You are. Unfortunately, player error.
All right, so guys, I have a question. I have a question for you. We've kind of done this little wing. Do we want to mess around with the evil droning skull guys in the middle?
I am
because
curious.
we could like line up, right? Like put us, the beefy guys with shields up front. Have you ready your turn to, as soon as we open the door, we open the door, you try a turn. If it messes with them, we know that we could probably kick their butts. If it doesn't do anything, that's probably bad news for us. And we might want to close that door again.
I'm certainly down to try. John, without opening the door, can you just give us the description in that room again? So we kind of, not the skulls, just like the construction of the room. Like I couldn't remember if it was like Rodifshin.
You can do it, Mike. I know you can do it.
There's an F in there somewhere, isn't it? Rudishin.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So foreboding.
So yeah, it was sort of a weird room, right? So the first half of the room, like where you would enter in, is plasteel and all that kind of good stuff, right? But the 2 thrones, chairs, right, where their backs were to you, so you only saw like the top of whatever was sitting them, the top of their skulls, sort of rising above the back. The chairs were made out of granite, like solid granite, and then in front of those chairs, what you couldn't quite figure out because the chairs are so massive, is there's like an area that is littered with a bunch of crap right in front of those thrones, and that part of the chamber is actually sheathed in white marble and silver grout. Instead of the white plasteel. And
why don't I? Oh, sorry.
And just the last thing is the thing that sort of made you your blood kind of run cold, is that when you opened the door, you heard that Mongolian throat singing Sardaukar sort of thing, and then the both of that was issuing from the bodies in the thrones, and then those heads sort of turned towards each other as the door opened.
I would like to cast clairvoyance right on top of those chairs.
Before you do it,
okay,
I want to just make an observation, which won't change your plan. I just want to get my prediction in before you find out. Looking at the map, we know that cavern with the point defense array connects to the bottom of the chasm, or we think it does. It seems likely. If this is, Rudishvan tech on one side and Arcantian or something, construction on the other side of that line, and I think we established that the thrones are very similar to that other spot where it looks like people were communing with Rudishvans, as if they were gods or something. I wonder if going through that way, you could actually end up in Varumani territory. That this might be where the Varumani were communing with the Rudishvans, later on after they've, escaped their enslavement or whatever kind of thing. So that's just my hypothesis from the map. I think David's got a great idea with the clairvoyance. I just wanted to get it in there.
Another good thing about this room, it just occurred to me thinking about that old chair. Remember when we sat in that old chair, it gave us visions of very valuable places to go. It's not inconceivable. We might get an engine room hint from sitting on there.
Yeah.
Totally.
I love David's
let's see what you.
I got several pops of
audience.
this, so why don't we pop it right in front of the thrones?
Okay, so mark off one use of clairvoyance from the Iron Circlet. So you focus the power of your artifact, and your wizard eye projects forward into that room, and you want to do it so like you see what's in the thrones, right? That's what you're doing.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I think it's. Let me check, but I think I can probably look around. Can I?
You can. Yeah.
I think your point is fixed, but you can look around.
I wanted to point it kind of at the center of the room where that threshold is in front of the throne, so that I could look at them and also look behind into the white marble area.
Yeah. All right. So the first thing you do is you set the eye right in front of them, and then you sort of look at them. So sitting in their thrones, like with their arms like on the armrests and their feet planted firmly, are two very large skeletons with ancient withered flesh sort of hanging off of the bones. You almost mistake them for rags or clothing until you see that it's actually withered flesh that is sort of sloughed off their bones. So they're more skeleton than anything else. But the skulls, it's the size of them, which is very off-putting and kind of terrifying, as well as the skulls themselves actually have, the mouths are fanged. And the skulls have little horns that sort of come out of the top a little bit as well, which you recognize as rudishva. And they are both wielding. Let me check here just in 1 second. Yeah, they're both wielding. They have basically across their laps a very large sword, like two-headed sword. And they're just staring straight ahead with like sightless eyes. You can't see any sort of life at all in them. Now, from wearing the Iron Circlet for some time, and as your sort of raison d'etre as a necromancer, that the undead don't ping as enchanted, right, from the Iron Circlet. It's very clear that these things definitely did move when you first encountered them, and that they certainly look undead to you. But the Iron Circlet does ping on them as well.
Oh.
Okay, so they are enchanted in some sort of manner.
So pings is magic, but not undead. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying they're undead, but they also are enchanted in some way.
Would that happen, John, if they were like, if someone had cast like animate dead or something on there? Because would that not be like some sort of magical enchantment on like a body?
If the animate dead was being concentrated, like if it was active, you know what I mean? Then yes.
Okay.
In addition, so the other thing too is that their jaws are slightly unhinged, like a little bit, like both of their mouths are sort of parted a little bit. Okay, and the teeth. The fanged teeth are actually black, like a dark, like onyx black. Okay, versus the bleached white, off-white of their bones. Okay, so it's very, very kind of terrifying, and they look like they're just looking right at you. Right now, when you spin the eye around, you see what lies before them, which is this sort of rough bottom. Like this, it's like a little bit of a step down, you know what I mean, in front of the throne, but it's about 40 feet east to west, which is the width of the entire chamber, and it goes north for about 40 feet as well. So it's like a 40-foot square. Okay, so you can just cap that off and
okay.
Ted. Now
there we go.
Let's see.
No exits.
The entire, even though like what I'm going to describe, what you sort of see there looks like a bunch of like junk and treasure and like random items sort of scattered around and stuff like that. But the entire area that is in, including vertically, radiates magic, strong enchantment. Okay, the whole area. Okay, but it stops right before at the seam at the border between that area and the plasteel where the thrones are. Okay. So in that area, you see that there is that it's littered with bones. Is mostly what you see. A lot of like adventuring equipment is down there as well. But you see, let's see, you see a bunch of coins that all look to be ancient Arcantian. There is a gleaming suit of ringmail that looks absolutely beautiful. It has like almost like when the light hits it, it almost looks like like flame colored. It looks like there's dancing flames on it for some reason. You can't quite get a beat on it, like what's going on there, but it's something weird. There's a beautifully crafted crossbow, and there appears to be a ring. There's a couple of scrolls, and most importantly, as you turn your wizard eye upon it, Upior, your heart flutters as you see a long, twisted, and gnarled ebony staff that's crowned with an eagle skull and dripping with tiny bird skulls. That's just lying in there.
We don't need to. Yeah, we don't need to go in here. It's boring.
David's having a moment down there.
You guys ready to PPK for a staff?
The rest of you all see, like Upior has his eyes closed, like he's doing like the, you know what I mean? You just see it like a grin just sort of spread across his face. You know?
A little bit of drool coming down one corner of the mouth.
Jinx. Yeah.
Is there a dispel magic in this game? Let me look through my scrolls. Really quick.
You know what? There is, and Lisbeth's got it prepared, baby.
But John, are there any exits out of that marble area?
No. One last thing though. Speaking of that though, Upior, that you see is that the front half of the room where the throne is, where the iris door is. Well, there is that exit to the west there, Ted.
Yeah,
that's already there.
Okay.
Yeah, that I knew about.
That has the curved roof, a plasteel roof, probably about 15 feet high, that you've seen in most rudishva areas. However, remember your eye is fixed where it's at right now, but it certainly appears that there is no visible ceiling above the enchanted area where all the treasure is lying.
Okay. You fall down there, these guys beat you up. Leave your stuff for us.
Interesting. Troll lift goes down there, maybe. Okay. No visible ceiling. So David just needs to run in with his levitate boots and get past the two guys with the swords, and then he can.
I think Matt's idea of trying to turn them while Elizabeth has a dispel magic ready might be the way to go.
Try both of them, just like bam, right there, and see if we.
I love that. They are potentially singing some paralyzing, hip hop duet. Do you guys want to cast silence on them?
Do you also want to try clairaudience real quick and see if it has an impact on you?
Not particularly.
Yeah, let's just
you want to borrow the circlet?
Okay, I do have silence.
If it casts confusion on me and then I bolt you with the lightning rod, you're gonna not love that.
No, that would make me sad inside. I do have silence prepared.
My question is order of usage. Sorry, I cut you off.
Are we sure that the sounds are emanating from there? And David, did you see that there's a tunnel on the western wall? And can your thing see down there in any way, shape, or form?
John,
it can't with the angle. If I'm being honest,
yeah, it's kind of a 45.
Yeah, it's fixed in place, right?
I can cast it. Well, again, I have 2 more usages, so I can cast it again in that tunnel. You want me to do it? Why not? I mean, if we're going to use it, might as well use it now.
Do it.
Or do you want me to cast it on the other side of that trash heap to see what's over there?
The eye has no light source, right?
What's that?
If you the eye has no light source, so putting it somewhere where there's no light, you can't see anything, right?
No.
Right. So I would say,
does his vision go through there? Like he has true seeing, right? And I'm not sure if the circlet has a dark vision version of it or not. But the vision that he sees through the circlet works through the clairvoyance, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
So secret doors in there and anything else that would be vision or
Right.
visual.
By the way, I just read the Ozric description one more time to make sure. And my bad. The spell cannot penetrate metal. Sheets of any type of metal between the caster and the target will prevent magic users from scrying upon that area. Does the plasteel count as plastic or metal?
It would be metal, yeah. So
we wouldn't be able to scry in there.
yeah, lesson
Sorry
learned.
about that.
Cheater.
The other thing too is that it's actually dark in there. It's not lit.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah. So
Well, we open the. You don't need long to see all this stuff. We open the iris. Light goes in. You do the thing. You see what we just saw. We close the iris again really quick and decide what to do.
okay. Well, if you want to retcon it that way, that's fine. But then the skeletons do start
walk,
to
yeah.
do their thing and animate.
So,
again.
sorry about that. I was not trying to choose that.
No, yeah, I didn't realize
Before,
either. Yeah.
and we didn't need long.
We don't have to explain it. You got your information,
Yeah,
so go ahead.
fine. All right. I think it'd be worth finding out whether a turn and a dispel magic has any effect on these two yahoos. I mean, it's possible it's just a magic spell to make an ordinary skeleton just go, and there's nothing here. It's all smoke and mirrors. But
look at the bones, man. The bones.
yeah,
They're
from
all
people
there.
falling, splat, over the years. But yeah,
Ted, there's absolutely no real danger in here.
My suspicion about the format of the room, even if people are falling down here or rappelling down here or whatever it may be, is that this is a paralytic song, and people who don't die from the fall starve to death sitting there until they rot. And that's why they are facing northward. And so them turning in our direction, I suspect, is them directing that towards us. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's my guess, right?
Okay, but here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. You've got let's say that this is a point at which the interface of the shining beacon intersected with other more mundane earthly regions, and so there's a couple of things going on here. This was created as the communication with the gods or something like that. But at some point, somebody, if what you're saying is true, if this is like a defense with two dead rudishvan corpses, someone had to do that, right? So who did it? Like why? And why are we not seeing any evidence of them down here at all? Mike?
I have a theory.
Yeah,
There's that one segment of the Rudishans. So close, right? I'm close.
So
It seems
close.
deliberate,
Just
Mike.
right, just
there
right on the
is
other
anyway
side,
the
Mike.
segment of the Rudishans who use magic, right? And they kind of turn traitor, right? So it was kind of like maybe they have set this up as some sort of magical trap. I think John is being very clear when he's like, these guys are radiating some sort of enchantment magic.
Yeah.
That's why it makes me feel like they're not just free roaming undead. This is the two undead sitting in the chair and the music are all part of the same impact, the same effect.
Do bear in mind two-handed weapons, but
right. So I just want to look up silence real quick and see if is it worth casting it, say, on like Wolford and Wolford running up to them so that, we can still use spells behind, but he might be able to silence them rather than risking them making some sort of saving throw or something and not being impacted.
love that as well. I have one other proposition. We have a bag of mines.
Right.
I mean, if you want to skip a mine at their feet,
We
that's
don't know
testable.
the power of those mines.
Right. What if you
We'll find
blow
out
up
the power of
everything in there?
plasteel pretty quickly.
What if you blow up your staff that you're trying to get?
That's true.
Or blow up those granite chairs that we might need. Here's another thought. Like here's my theory. I don't think it was necessarily the Rudishvans who were casting magic. Here's what I think. Remember, this area was, there was a time period where the Rudishvans and the Arcantians were commingling, right? And that's why they finished some of these, marble stones to kind of mimic the plasteel. And they had high magic users back then. I think this is a defense set in place by those old Arcantians to keep people from coming in this way, right? Because remember, they were down here and they were trying to have defenses against the oh shoot, I forget the hoppers.
Hikari.
I love that idea as well.
That one I can say.
Yeah.
I'll throw one more in. We know that they were trying to find a means of an eternal life. Nothing says Wisdom isn't one of those. I think it's time for our first break, though. Do we want to cut and then act after?
Sure, no problem. We will take our first break. We will be right back. All right, we are back. Bladders empty, beers full. Any other theorizing about your skeletons?
No
more theorizing. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
I was gonna say let's just ride the lightning, baby. I think what we should do is we should cast silence on one of us and have that person run up to them, and then the people behind can try to dispel. I guess if you dispel, you might dispel the silence. So maybe that's a problem.
Yeah. I mean, I think maybe what we want to do, cast silence on a stone or something that we can toss in there. Because if you cast silence on somebody and then they need healing, they're gonna be kind of out of luck.
I have the magic pebble, which would be perfect for that idea.
Yes, let's do that.
Yeah, the only thing about that is if the silence is 15-foot radius, a person can move with them.
It's true.
A pebble cannot. So then literally within one movement, they could get out of the 15-foot radius.
Cast it on something that we can drop if necessary, or take away from a person. Right.
That's smart. Let me make sure you can cast it on an item, and just in general.
I mean, another thing we can do is pull some beeswax out of the sack and just plug up our ears if we think that hearing this song is going to do something to us.
Yeah, it's basically casting it on an area. It's basically casting it on an area or a creature. A creature can save against spells, but I guess you can always willingly fail a saving throw. Correct.
That's what we've done in the past. Yeah.
Yeah. So either we do it in an area where all sound is prevented, conversation, spell casting are impossible, or we cast upon a creature, and then if it's a 15-foot radius around that creature, which moves with the creature.
The cool thing I'm realizing now, looking at this spell, though, is that even if the creature succeeds, though, silence still happens. It just becomes in that area instead of on the target.
And they can move.
Spell. Right. Yeah. One of my favorites by far.
So what do you guys want to do? How do you want to do it?
Oh, you're muted, Ted.
Before we proceed, Matt and I were talking, and David, when you had the clairvoyance going, could you see whether any of the bones in the pile were something like Rudishvan bones or Varamani bones or Heketi bones or anything like that? Or were they all human bones or goblin bones? Could you tell?
I would say that you... the only thing that tells you that they're anything but human is the fact that there is the presence of some like shattered skulls and things like that, which do indicate that it's not just human. But I am going to say that because you're sort of seeing it through a spell and you're not like really like in that pit, sort of like looking at the stuff, that the only thing you could tell is that there's more than just human down there.
Are you saying that Upior is not a trained forensic archaeologist, John?
Not from a distance using a wizard.
I think a couple of our listeners are.
Yeah, probably.
Can I phone a friend?
No, you can't.
All right.
All your friends are here.
Okay, so the silence thing is
that's generous to assume, Mike.
All right, but let's we should try, if we're going to try another spell, let's do dispel magic first and then the silence, because otherwise it'll dispel the silence and not.
Yes, it would.
True.
Right?
Yep.
All right, guys.
It's indiscriminate. It just gets rid of any spell effect within that area. So,
let's shit or get off the pot. What are we doing?
Okay.
Why don't
do it, man?
So let's open the door. She'll do the dispel magic, and you can do your turn, right?
Okay.
And then next time you can do the
My
silence.
only problem is if David is right and there is like a paralytic effect or some other impact of hearing that, not doing the silence first could potentially shut down anything else that we want to try and do. So
plug your earwax, dude.
It almost feels like what we should do is cast silence on Mort, have him run through like a crazy little goblin bastard and run right up to those skeletons. And then we try to turn them. And then we just hold on to the dispel magic in case something else bad happens. Right. So
I don't like this plan very much, but I'll do it.
That
I was
is why
gonna say,
retainers are
you
around.
can put the silence on me if you want.
You could put it on Barrios.
I mean,
don't forget what retainers are for. Yeah.
Yeah. The only other thing is like if it's kind of
So
if dispelling the enchantment is what we want to try, then we shouldn't do the silence first. You know what I mean?
right.
So okay. All right.
Barrios only has an 8 intelligence, but he also knows that nobody bothered to heal his 8 hit point damage that he got last time, and he's not particularly interested in getting any more. So he's like,
Does he have anything on his person we should take?
What's that?
Does he have anything on his body we should take before he dies? And 2 rounds.
He has a bunch of twine.
All right. Let's do Matt's thing first. Well, let's just open the iris door, shoot the dispel magic through. If it works, it doesn't. It works, and if it doesn't, we shut the iris door, regroup, try the silence in the turn. Okay.
Why not turn first?
Oh my God. Okay. I open the door with the wand of lighting and I start fucking blasting. No, I'm not upset
Seriously,
with you.
we can literally talk about this for like the next 3 hours.
Yeah,
Well, we
just
don't
gonna go
have
forever.
to. You could just say, here is why I don't want to do turn first, which strikes me as the obvious thing to do since they're undead.
That's fine. Then let's do that. I
That's
honestly,
all I'm
like,
asking.
I'm over it. Let me just do it.
Okay. So Lothar, you step up, and are you have continual light on you?
Yes, I have it on my locket.
Okay. You need a plaque, certain kind of plaque to open this door.
Oh, someone open the door for me.
I opened the door for you.
Okay.
My
Yeah,
captain-
Elizabeth is ready
my
to
captain-
with her.
So you open the door.
Dispel.
You are immediately assaulted by that bone scraping sound emanating from the mouths of the skeletons. And again, they sort of turn towards you in slow motion. But you immediately sort of hold forth your holy symbol, right? And
By the power of Odin.
By the power of Odin, you hold forth. Shining holy light goes forward into the room and skitters off of their auras. You can tell easily, Lothar, that Odin's favor was completely blocked by whatever enchantment is upon them.
All right.
Okay.
Dispel, Elizabeth's dispel.
Okay, so at this
The
point,
zap.
though, because you weren't doing things simultaneously, the turn went off first. Now we have to roll for initiative. So you're declaring a spell, Elizabeth, right? Okay.
Okay.
Upior, anyone else declaring spells?
No.
No.
I'm
Okay.
closing that door.
So I got to ask though, John. So do I get? Am I basically is Lothar resetting his action because I did the turn, and now we're calling for initiative. So am I back in the initiative order or is
You
my
are, yeah. So
action-
if you want to cast a spell, you can declare it now. Do you want to declare?
No, I'm not going to cast another spell right now.
Okay, cool. All right. So initiative, please. I got a 3.
Who's rolling
Hold
it? Ted.
I got it.
Me?
I got it too.
Okay.
Wah,
So
wah.
you guys were really hoping that Lothar could bring it to bear, and it like that. According to the light that came off of that thing, you were like, he's got it. But then both of the skeletons basically hoist themselves out of their thrones and turn to face you, and they're really tall. They're like over 8 feet tall, like big things. You know what I mean? Just like the withered flesh sort of like hanging and swaying in the breeze a little bit, and they let forth a horrific sonic blast from both of their mouths, just like it's like almost like a throat singing bark. It's like a roar, it's just it kind of comes out like really loud and just shatters your eardrums. It's really quite awful.
Does the beeswax help at all?
Did you have beeswax?
Yeah,
I think Matt did. In all fairness, I think Matt did. Nobody else. said
Wilford
anything
was
about it.
ready for that. He didn't like that sound thing.
Did you say that this session you put beeswax in your ears?
He's been
he
talking
did.
about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean-
he's been
Okay.
offering
Yeah, he
everybody
pulled it out of the
beeswax.
sack. Yeah.
Okay, good. Give me 1 second.
Nobody else listened to him though.
Nope.
They had
I heard him.
beeswax in theirs.
I know it's a great idea, Matt.
Where the hell is this thing?
Page 6001.
Why am I not seeing this? There it is.
Appendix
Okay,
52.
there it is. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I need everyone except for Wolford to roll a saving throws versus spells, please.
Okay.
Just because I'm a cheesing. I assume being on the other side of the wall does nothing to assist my defense against this.
If the iris door is open, which means you can hear the sonic blast, then you are affected.
That's fine. Okay.
John, I have a 12 save and I rolled an 18, so I'm good.
Okay. This is like a magic thing too, so if you have a wisdom bonus, it would apply here.
Cool. Then I got a 19.
I'm afraid I failed, John.
More failed a save? That's insane.
That's his worst save, actually.
Yeah, Elizabeth also failed.
Barrios.
I succeeded. Wow.
Barrios.
I did not expect that.
Barrios also failed.
So Barrios, Mort.
Yeah.
And Elizabeth.
Elizabeth
also failed.
I succeeded.
Okay, so am I right? Barrios, Elizabeth, and Mort are the ones that failed. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So this blast comes out. It's obviously magical. There's no possible way that it's a skeleton. After all, skeletons shouldn't be able to do anything. But that it's very magical. And it literally like bursts your eardrums. It's just intensely painful. And you guys just go. The three of you just go reeling back. Backs like against that east-west corridor wall. Just like you're screaming. But you've been so deafened that you can't even hear yourself scream. Like your whole mind is just taken up by this sound coming out of these unholy creatures, and you are stunned until further notice. The three of you can do no actions.
Okay. I will mark off her spell as lost.
Wolford, something really bad just happened, but you can't hear anything going on, the screaming going on. Lothar and Upior, you clap your hands to your heads, and you do it just in the nick of time. So you're unaffected, but you can definitely hear the screaming of the three people that were affected by it, and they're not looking good. Okay, so that was them, and they have stood up and basically kind of circumnavigated their thrones so that their full bodies are sort of like in front of you now. Like they're basically standing behind both of their thrones, but facing you. You know what I mean? That makes sense?
Yep.
Like their whole bodies are exposed to you right now.
Silence, Lothar.
Yep, your turn.
Well, I didn't declare a spell this turn though, David. So
all right, I closed the door.
Yeah,
I thought you'd hit him with a lightning bolt just to see what happened.
No, after seeing you, no, I'm
good. There is a beautiful, beautiful staff on the other side of them.
Oh, I'm going back in after I figure out how to get you guys out of a stun. I don't think we should give up on this encounter, but I think we just really botched how we started it. Yeah.
Okay.
As we are prone to do.
So you're
I close the door.
You close the door. Okay.
And we make the exact wrong decision.
Upior, as the door sort of comes, sort of dilates, or what's the opposite of dilate? What is the opposite of dilate?
Sphincters.
Yeah, it closes. You can see as it does so that they like unlimber their blades, right, and they start to stalk forward. Okay, as the door closes with a finality, you don't hear anything beyond because those doors are like really, really good, well and soundproof, and you don't see anything shaking. Like they don't seem to be like pounding on the door or anything like that. But you can't tell if they've moved closer or reset or not. You just have no idea. But you did see them unlimber their swords. Yes.
According to the internets, the opposite of dilate is contract.
Oh, there we go. That makes sense. Contract.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's try this again, guys, shall we? We wait for them to stop being stunned.
I wasn't clear, John. Did they also take damage, or are they just stunned and ears?
They did not take damage. They're just They're just like can't act, basically.
Right.
I will say, like after we'll call it a turn for this whole thing. So at 11 a.m. promptly, you guys come out of your stupor. You are bleeding, all three of you, from the ears.
Any lasting damage?
No.
What a nice GM. What a nice GM.
That is
if I were John, I would have been so cruel.
True. That was horrible.
Yeah, it was
They're
terrible.
obviously
really bad.
They are bad news. So grenades.
We should have
yeah?
done silence first, like I was suggesting.
I have a suggestion before we have another attempt at this, guys. I think we go over to the captain's office and then we take a nap.
Yeah, because Lisbeth's spell is gone. She cannot dispel magic anymore because she was interrupted by that nasty
Only at
stuff.
11 o'clock in the morning.
You want spells, Ted?
Yeah.
I don't care about spells.
Okay.
I'm a goblin.
I vote for camping. Let's camp.
Let's camp. It doesn't matter what time it is. We live beyond time, much like Akhlacha, who I'm going to ask about that very thing.
Okay, so
Let's
you
go-
go back to
let's
you go back to the captain's quarters, and you're going to rest. Do you want to rest for the minimum for 8 hours, or do you want to like start at like a normal time? Like, do you want to go all the way through to 8 a.m. the next day?
Yeah, let's go to 8 a.m. the next day. And Matt, can you use the shrieker to put a alarm spell on that door?
Yeah, I can do that because it's a radius. I can do that door and that kind of whole hallway.
Okay.
Right. So if anybody else teleports in, it'll warn us there too.
Okay.
We can. Oh yeah. Never mind.
Okay, so you bed down. You got your alarm set up, and the night passes without issue.
Speaking of bedding down, I'm going to go help that kid bed down, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
This is a perfect opportunity for Mort to finally crack out the chair of the chair of easeful rest or something.
Yeah, nice.
The miniaturized chair that he carries in his pouch. He's going to pop that open and lazy boy that shit while he sleeps in the captain's office.
That's the way I was waiting for that to come into play.
Chumps can lie on the floor. I'm sitting in an easy boy chair here.
Is there a way, like when he gets up to pee or something, that I can take it?
Fight you for it.
Okay, so
you guys had. Sorry,
is there anything else you want to do during your rest period?
Nope.
I'm going to memorize some different spells. So you guys had mentioned needing me to use knock for something, and I can't recall what that was last session. You had the notion that I might be able to unlock something with knock.
That was the device with the code on it.
I don't think that would apply to a coded device, though, right?
I thought that device had to actually open. I now realize that it's a disarm code. I don't think the knock would work on it.
It says it opens stuck barred, locked gates, doors, chests, and so forth. But I assume that's like a mundane concept. I don't think it would apply to a digital.
Well, it's a disarming code. It doesn't open it or close it, so it's not. Really
exactly. That's what I'm saying, though. It's like
not a. What do you got in your spell book that's really good against undead?
Not a whole lot, ironically.
Do we need to take a break?
Yeah, let's take a quick break.
Yes.
Okay. We'll take another quick break, and let's see what happens on their break in world. We'll be right back. All right, we are back again. Sorry about that. All right, so apparently our spellcasters have their spell lists ready to go. So go ahead and take it away, guys, with what you have memorized.
All right, I have light, cure light wounds, silence 15 foot, hold person, cure disease, and cure serious wounds.
Cool.
I have marionette, phantom armor, forget, pummeling fists of Arak Zor, haste, and rope trick.
Nice.
Okay. And Lisbeth has entangle, speak with animals, umbral ashes, her own spell, barkskin, obscuring mist, cure light wounds, hold animal, protection from poison, cure serious wounds, dispel magic, and transmute rock to mud.
Very nice. All right, you guys are loaded with fucking spells. It's awesome. Okay, very good. So you have a very long sojourn in the captain's quarters. It's quite relaxing. Mort obviously gets the best rest of all. Everyone gains a hit point if you're down one. What was I going to say? It is now the 21st of Gelenios. Congratulations, you've made it to another day.
And before they go to sleep, Lisbeth would cast her heavier spell on Barrios to get him back up to full, because she had the cure serious wounds that was on.
Okay. So before we go to bed, that's great.
Yeah, before we go to bed. Yeah, so that is 2d6 plus 2, so that's 7, 8, 9 hit points. So he should be back up.
He's back up at full. Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Thanks, milady, most profusely.
All right, so yeah, it's 8 a.m. on the 21st. You have no idea what the weather's like. But you're all pretty darn well rested, considering that there is 2 ancient, holy, enchanted, unholy rudishva skeletons in the other room.
That's amazing. All right, so Wolford still has the beeswax from the other day, and he kind of offers it around again, and see if more people are interested in taking it up.
More people are definitely interested. But you got to understand, big glowing goblin ears is going to take extra wax. You might need more. I don't know.
When you open up the Irish door into the corridor, you are warmly greeted by a friendly chirp from the Roomba as it comes up to you and bumps against your knee. And then
googly eyes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to
Does
go
it
ahead
sound
and,
like it's laughing at us
pretty much
from yesterday.
I'm going to go ahead and summon my phantom armor, so I have AC 16.
Oh,
ooh, nice.
There you go.
There you
All right.
go.
I will put away Theodorus's chair of restful ease.
Very good.
Okay.
What's the duration on the phantom armor?
It lasts until the AC value is subsumed, and it is let's see, 1 damage a level. So I can absorb up to 6 points of damage before it's dispelled.
Sweet. Cool. Awesome. Means I don't have to track it, which is fantastic. Okay. What's the plan?
All right.
God damn it! Here we're right back where we started again.
Yep.
Beeswax,
Wax in the ears.
Got it.
wax in the ears.
Are we going for the grenade this time?
No, I'm a little leery on those things because we don't really know how they work. We don't know how long it's going to take them
how much they'll blow up.
detonate. What if it blows all the treasure right to hell? Oh, shut up, David. You have a magic staff in there you want.
I am
Anyway.
I'm gonna be a little bit mean, just so that beeswax isn't just like an easy all problems are absolved sort of thing. I am gonna say that you cannot have meta planning conversations in the midst of a potential combat with these guys if you're having the beeswax in your ears.
That's
You know what I
fine.
mean?
I
I
hope
love
makes
that.
total
I love
sense.
that. I still think you should cast silence on them immediately.
I think we should cast silence on one of us. I'll cast it on myself. That's fine. The only thing is that then I cannot cast spells after that.
Yeah, don't do it on you.
Okay, so
So
why
who's
don't I
on
do
Mort?
it
Who's gonna
on
do it?
Mort?
Put
I'm
it
going
on
to do it
Mort.
on Mort. And then Mort
Or
is going
Barrios.
to be
You want to do
Well,
Barrios
it's exactly-
instead?
whoever you want me to, Ted.
Barrios.
Okay, I cast it on Barrios.
Okay.
And I say, don't stand close to me and don't stand close to Elizabeth and don't stand too close to Upior because
Duration
we
is
might need to drop some magical shit on them.
12 turns.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
Now,
So this
Why don't
time,
we
do we want to open with the dispel magic this time?
yeah, but here's the trick, Matt, is that with silence on Mort, you can't stand next to Mort. And I'm assuming Mort will be at the doorway.
It's
So you
Barrios.
will not be able to cast a dispel magic in there. And if he's in there next to the skeletons, you'll dispel it and then the silence will
Okay,
go away.
this is. I think this is way too convoluted. What is the diameter of silence?
30 feet
15 foot
diameter.
radius.
There's no need to cast it on one of us and convolute our whole thing. It will subsume the half of the room that is relevant to the encounter if we don't let them come through the Irish door, at which point we will be dead regardless. Just pop it in there,
Makes
right
sense.
on their thrones.
Do it after the dispel though, because we don't want the dispel to.
Yeah, 100.
dispel.
Yeah. Sure. But well, you don't have to do it after the dispel because the dispel won't be. Just because there's
The
silence
dispel
in the room
would-
doesn't mean you can't cast dispel.
It would dispel the silence, and it would
I see what you're
erase his.
saying.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, we're going to run into the same problem. Then we're not going to get a
So
surprise
dispel and then
round.
silence. Yeah.
No,
We're not going to get a surprise round.
That could still work, David, because what you can do, what you guys didn't do last time, is you can do these. You can do this simultaneously during the surprise round.
Right.
Okay. You can have your ship primed, and then it's up to you guys in what order you go. But you would all be able to go at once. So
Then we're good.
you could
So
just launch the
dispel
spell,
silence,
and then you do silence. But it would all be during the surprise round if you wanted to do it that way.
John, I'm going to position the silence so that it ends right at our doorway.
You know what else
So
I'm going to
5, 10, 15. So in the little like hex, the little cross thing right just to the south of their chairs where my cursor is.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm also going to cast simultaneously, and I'm going to cast haste on all of us before any of this pops off.
Okay.
Nice.
So just as a reiteration, anyone in the 30 or up to 20 foot, but doesn't matter. All of us are enchanted to be able to move and act twice as quickly. So double max movement rates. Attacks have just make double the normal number of attacks per round. Number of spells instead to make cast may also, or per round is not doubled. So we can't double our spells per round, but we can double our melee attacks per round.
Cool.
Magic devices is not doubled as well, FYI. So
okay, cool. All right, so you come loaded for bear. You got your beeswax in your ears, and you're going to open the door, and
simulcast.
Elizabeth is going to cast Dispel first, followed immediately by Silence. Right.
And I cast haste prior to opening the door because it lasts for 3 turns. So we are hasted,
Okay. So
open the door. Should throw a lightning bolt in there, David.
Elizabeth. I have my wand ready. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Elizabeth cast Dispel magic as soon as the door is open. Okay. As the doors open, and you're just casting it no matter what. Like no matter what you see, you're casting it, right, Elizabeth?
Yeah.
Okay. So you fire it, and you cast it in that room, and it doesn't seem to have any effect. Right? There doesn't seem to be any sort of active spell at all. Even more disheartening is the fact that you don't see the skeletons in their chairs, nor standing in front of it. And then you realize, but not before Lothar does a silence, right? Are you doing, because this is a surprise round, you have to do it immediately. Still casting silence, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're casting it at the vertex between the 2 chairs, right?
Correct. Just to the south of the 2 chairs.
So it goes, 10. Okay. Yeah. So you drop silence. That part of the room goes silent, although there is no sound. And that you hear. That part of the room gets quiet, and it's particularly heartbreaking because of your choice of where to drop that spell. As Elizabeth and Lothar are standing there right in the door, as you immediately sense, right after you cast the spell, that the skeletons are on either side of the door, pressed up against that southern wall, with their swords above their heads, ready to come crashing down upon y'all. And as you quickly let loose your arcane words, you can hear the throat singing commence once again.
Y'all didn't walk through the door, though, to cast the spell.
No, we didn't.
No, they're not.
So they wouldn't be able to attack them.
They're not attacking. Yeah. They're not attacking.
Okay.
But you see them is what you do, and they are just out of range of your silence.
Wait, how? I thought we cast it so that all the way to the door it was silenced.
If they're on either side of the door, they technically are not within the radius. If you draw the line.
Yeah.
They can actually be out of it because it's a radius.
However, if we're in the silence, then we can't hear it. So by stepping through the door, you then are going to benefit from the silence.
No, you would have to step 10 feet into the room before you're benefiting from the silence.
And they would attack you. Yeah.
No, it's a 15-foot radius.
10-foot.
From that vertices, it would actually touch the door. But either on either side of the door, you'd be just out of it. But anyone stepping through the door would be in silence. For sure. Oh.
So like the silence goes right up to the door.
Yeah. It does.
Draw the circle.
Yeah. From that dot that Mike nominated, a 15-foot radius goes all the way to the door.
No, it doesn't.
These are 10-foot squares.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Then that was my mistake. I literally okay, whatever.
Now we're gonna die.
Shut the Irish door and let's do this again tomorrow, guys. Come on, this is stupid.
I mean, we literally can. I will shut the door. I just shut it. Why not? Why not?
The little Roomba is so disappointed. The little Roomba is laughing its ass off at us.
Once again, if we
he's just waiting. He wants to go into the room so bad to clean it. You know?
His little googly eyes look so sad and disappointed in our behavior.
Mike, you literally called it. You said, "I think we're going to biff it the second time," and we did. So I close the door and I go, "Hey, I'm feeling a little sleepy," and I walk towards the cat.
Cast alarm on the hallway. We trudge back to the captain's quarters. We restock ourselves.
Are you seriously sleeping again?
Yeah,
of course.
You're seriously sleeping again because that silence spell is not nearly as big as I thought it was. David literally was like, if you cast it in the middle of the room, it's going to get the entire room.
I did the same thing. I was thinking
5, 10,
30 foot radius times 30 foot.
That's going to be huge. That's going to be the entire room, and it'll be everything.
Yeah. I thought it was
we're so stupid.
Sorry.
Okay.
I thought it was 30-foot radius, not 30-foot diameter for some reason. So I thought you were just good.
Okay. Hey, it's not a complete failure, guys. We now know Dispel Magic is going to have no effect.
Hey,
The only thing, right?
Well, we didn't hit them with it.
And the turn is going to have no effect because of the whatever enchantment is on them, right? So they must, for all we know, silence isn't going to have an effect because they appear to have some sort of anti-magic thing going on.
I have a suggestion. We have these mines, and we have a plasteel wall and a metal iris that we know is basically laser proof. That we could just slide a mine in and close the door. You want to do that instead of going to bed?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
Right inside
Learn
the
how
door.
to use one. Yes.
And hopefully it won't, blast the stuff that's 10,
Okay.
20, 30,
John,
40 feet away.
Rather than going to bed, I'm going to arm one of the devices, turning the little pyramid thing on top.
Mm-hmm.
David's going to open the door, and as the iris is still dilating, I'm going to drop it right at the doorway, and then he's going to close the door again, and we're going to run down to the captain's quarters.
I need to find it. You don't have a page number for those, do you?
We don't.
We found them in the security office, if that helps.
Okay, give me a second. I have to find it. The stats for it.
All right. So
got
while
it.
John's looking, okay, we'll post up on either side of the door with our shields, right? Just in case they're ready to hop out.
Yeah.
Right. You're going to just toss it through the hole. You're not up close, far enough back so you can just like toss it in there. And then Upir is going to close it right back up. Right. We'll put our wax back in our ears. Okay. Sorry. Go.
No, I'm good.
Give me the page number. I'll write it down, John.
Page number was 608.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so yeah,
Just
all
like
right. So
the Groundhog Day.
so beeswax is still in your ears. You're just down 2 spells. Who's launching the structural mines through the door?
I will launch one mine through the door.
Okay. All right.
And I'll
So
have Mort and Barrios on either side of him in case this doesn't go right. We need to fight at the door.
okay.
Wolford is also ready with his spear.
I
Okay.
want to try and not put my hand through the door, John. I don't want to pull Avaricios on this whole thing. I'm just going to kind of boop it. Boop
I understand. So here's the deal:
Right.
the skeletons are now kind of aware of you, so you
Sure.
can't get the jump on them now. So when you open the door, okay, like someone scans it and like steps to the side so they're not trying. You open it up and basically taking up the entire door, preventing you from entering the door, are both of the skeletons. They're basically standing there, towering in front, like blocking everything in front of you, with their swords in their hands and their mouths open. When you see them this close up, and I know this is all kind of happening simultaneously, but one thing that you do see is those black pits for their eyes. Now that they're active and animated, you see that the tiniest little pinprick just sort of floating, and you can actually see like the way that, like when they move their head, the floating light sort of moves in a little bit, like later, like it's like
Yep.
there's like lag. You know what I mean? Are tiny pinpricks of orange light that are the exact same color as Arcanum, that are sort of floating magically within the depths of the eye sockets. They are going to open their mouths to let forth another sonic blast, as the same time that you try to launch that structural mine in. So it's all about initiative.
And we are hasted. Does that have any impact on our initiative, David?
Does it say that? Probably doesn't.
I have haste right here. Hold on a
I
second.
don't think so. No, I mean, we just act twice as quickly, so we can do 2 actions. So, for instance,
I'll give you a +2 bonus on your initiative.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Roll it, Mike.
I got a 1.
Got
Throwing the bomb.
I got with a +2 bonus, I got a 7.
Nice. Okay, that'll do it.
Not bad.
Okay, so you know exactly what you're about to do. You're not phased by the fact that they're just standing there with their mouths agape, and you launch that fucking thing in like beep beep. Toosh. And do you close the iris door, Upior? I guess you're the one with the plaque.
Yes, please.
Can I be a bit of a min-maxer here? If we have 2 actions,
yes.
I want to drop it. I want to drop it through, and then I'm going to whack it with my mace.
Everyone should whack it twice, and I'll close the door. We have 2 actions, so y'all should both strike.
Oh yeah.
Strike.
Strike through the door, John. I mean, there's only
You're just striking them at the door. The door's not.
Yeah, but
Sorry.
how many people can stand at the door and actually hit the things?
I would
Is what I'm
say
saying.
three.
Barrios
I'll
for
say
there,
three
you
people
said.
could, and both
Oh, then
skeletons are
Wolford
possible.
will.
That's 6
Both
attacks.
So just listen. Both skeletons are possible targets.
So Morton Barrios will take a shot for sure.
What
I'm
are you
curious
using?
to know if we can actually. Mort is using the pin and hits with a 23.
Barrios should not, because Mike had to throw the mine in. So it has to be Mike, unless you don't want to do anything, Matt. It has to be 2 for each of you.
Yeah, if he has a bow, he could use, or a sling, he could do that.
True.
Oh, no. You guys go ahead. Yeah,
All
if you need to be the 3, that's cool. Go ahead.
Okay.
All right. So Mort's first hit is for 14 points. Sorry, no, not 14. 9 points. 9 points. Wrong addition.
What is this?
Second.
This is the.
Sorry.
This is the pin.
The pin.
Yeah.
Yep. And then he hits with does an 18 hit, John?
It does. Yeah.
All right. Then so he does another 11.
11 plus what? It was the first one.
9.
Okay.
And then Barrios. Here it is. With his spear, does so I'm gonna guess a 12 does not hit.
No.
And then Barrios fucking whiffed it, man. Sorry, guys.
Okay, so
All
when
right.
you
I
attack
got
with
one
the
attack still. Oh, sorry.
when you attack with a pin, it definitely connects, and you saw through some bones, but not with as much impact as you hoped, and you only do half damage.
Cool.
That's a +3
I'm
weapon,
going to
man.
use. It's because it's slashing. I'm going to use my mace. The mace that is finisher. It's +2 versus undead.
Oh.
So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'm going to hit AC 18.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm going to do 5 + 3, 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Just checking here.
It's an equivalent of a +2 weapon when it's against undead.
Against the same one that Mort hit.
Yes.
How much damage again?
8.
8. Okay. That definitely seems to connect, and you can hear bones crunching to full effect. And they also turn both of their baleful sets of eyes upon you when they see that hated weapon being brought to bear against them.
Nice.
Can I ask a question, John?
Mm-hmm.
Would you count me closing the door as like an action, like as an attack? How would you measure that within my like action economy?
Closing the door?
I
don't think it's anything.
And close the door.
You're literally just holding up a plaque, so I don't think it's like an action.
So could I use Sclerus's ring to send the invisible stalker at them and then close the door with haste?
You could. That was actually something I was going to bring up after the battle, and it's really good that you picked today to do it and took that day of rest, because literally on the dawn of this day, the 21st, is when that recharges, and you would have seen it actually light up again.
Nice.
Wow. So I'm going to send the invisible stalker at them, and then I'm going to close the door.
Okay, great. Everyone got their attacks in already?
Yeah.
Okay. So you send in the invisible stalker, you close the door, the mine goes in as well. You hear a massive explosion, like boom. Lothar, I need you to roll me 6d6.
Yeah.
I haven't rolled this many days. I haven't rolled this many days since Pathfinder, baby.
Oh, you mean the next game we're playing on the stream? Yeah. Sorry, there's a leak, guys.
Supposed to be a secret.
Oh, I need you guys to see this. I'm going to bring this down here. I'm going to let you guys look at the destruction that I
can't see it, but how much is it?
I can't see it, and your screen just froze, Mike. Oh, no.
3 6s. Is that a 4th 6?
Let's just
five.
just
Holy
add,
crap.
5 6s.
combat is crawl.
20,
I need a number, please.
24, 32 points of damage.
Whoa, damn. Okay. All right. So,
Well done, Mike.
yeah, you there's a massive explosion. You hear a great amount of commotion coming from the other room.
I hope so.
Oh, that may not be good.
Actually, no, you wouldn't hear anything. You would hear the explosion because that's just an explosion. But then afterwards, you hear silence.
I think it would be more funny if we heard a lot of commotion, including like finally like that last plate just going roing, 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 roing on the floor. That'd be more fun.
You want to do your Claire peeking there again, Upior?
Can't do it with the door closed. Metal. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
We could just open it up. Let's fingers crossed that all those magic items aren't toast now.
All right.
How about this? Turn Mort invisible, and everybody else goes and stands somewhere else, and we can open the door up and see it, and he can close it again right away if he has to.
Don't forget, if we do it right now, we still have haste for like one more turn.
We have 3 turns of haste, so yeah, let's move fast.
Yeah, step away, make more invisible. He opens the door. He can hit something if he has to, or actually maybe. Well, yeah, that's fine. Do it that way.
Okay, so when you open the door, the scene is completely changed. There's a massive amount of devastation that's happened in the room. The plasteel has basically been scorched. There is heat in the room. The whole 9 yards. The 2 thrones are completely obliterated.
No.
And you unfortunately you see that both of the skeletons are still active, and they don't seem to be hurt at all. But they also don't seem to be focused on anyone when the door opens, because one is actually up against the wall and seems to be his hands are sort of like moving jerkily in front of him as he seems to be holding onto something invisible that Mort can't see. Upior can clearly see with the iron circlet the shape of the invisible stalker, which I always just sort of assume sort of looks like, in my mind, looks like an alien from Aliens. Is like attached to the thing, and it's like like trying to get at it and kill the skeleton. The other skeleton is weirdly enough is sort of standing at the side. It looks like both of the skeletons sort of got like banged up against the wall. They're both within the ring of silence. They're sort of amidst the ruins of the stone thrones, and is silently actually detaches one of its femurs, like pulls off a femur and wings it at his buddy. And you can see it hit the invisible stalker, and basically knocks it off the body of the other skeleton. Like they're basically like at a pitched battle with the invisible stalker right now in silence. As the femur goes winging into the invisible stalker, you can actually see a new femur phase into existence where the old one was.
Do they still look damaged from the mace?
Yes, they look damaged from the mace, yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you've already accounted for this, but just in case their magic is attached to those thrones, does the destruction of the thrones change any of what you just told us?
No.
John.
Okay. Guys,
so sad.
I'm going to go beat the hell out of these dudes. Let's go do it.
Go for it.
Well, let's get, I guess the one that's not surrounded by, not tied up with
I'm going to run for the magic items and run out. So if we can't beat them up, we can beat a retreat and close the door. How about that?
All right. Declaration of spells.
I'm gonna I'll cast a spell. I'll cast Pummeling Fist on one. That'll interrupt them a bunch.
Okay.
Elizabeth is going to cast a spell.
Okay. Roll for initiative, please.
I don't know if spells affect them, but we'll see.
Mike rolled last time and he succeeded, so it's still Mike.
Oh, you're right.
If you're still, how long does the haste last?
One more turn, I think. So with the bonus for the haste, John, I get a 5 total for initiative.
You guys win.
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Spells.
Okay.
Spells.
I'm going to cast Pummeling Fist on the femur throwing skeleton, I guess, since the invisible skull stalker has the other one kind of tied up.
Okay.
As with other hand spells, Clenching Fist evokes a magical hand, but in this case, the hand is always at least as large. Oh, it's a lot to read. Okay.
Just
Fist strikes one of the magic user's enemies per round, never missing for as long as the guy concentrate. No other activity is possible while concentrating, and breaks the caster's concentration. Breaking my concentration ends the spell. The fist rolls a d20 to determine damage. On a 1 to 12, the fist deals 1d6. On 13 to 15, 2d6, etc., etc.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. And then if I do max damage, it stuns the opponent as well. But yeah.
All right. So you're sending it against the one that chucked the femur?
Yep.
Okay. That is the one that is unhurt currently. Okay. All right. So you cast it. and the fists manifest in the air, and they just come raining down upon this guy like as hard as you possibly. It's all silent though.
Yeah. You want me to roll d20 now?
Yeah.
For the first round, I got a 12, which means it does a d6 damage. That is 4.
Okay. That does seem to affect it. It staggers back underneath the blows that continue to rain down upon it.
Mike, bring it.
What spell are you doing, Matt?
Oh, yeah. Elizabeth is going to cast her Umbral Ashes spell on, and she'll cast it on Wolford and Mort. This is the spell. It's kind of the inverse of Fairy Fire. So they become kind of like obscured by like these dark ashes. They're a little harder to hit, right? So these soft shifting ashes kind of cover them, and they're a little harder to hit. It says in low light conditions, so we might dim our lockets a little bit. Attacks on the targets have a -2 to hit.
Okay, how long does it last?
Duration is 1 turn.
Okay.
Right on.
Okay.
So now,
Anybody else?
melee. Right.
You
That was
know.
it for spells, right?
Yep.
That was spells. We still get to go.
Yeah. Mike, do it.
Okay, I'm going to charge in, John, and the one that's struggling with the invisible stalker, I'm going to hit it with my mace twice.
Okay.
Do we have a ballpark on what the AC is at this point?
That's
or no?
18. 18 is the AC.
Ooh, that's no bueno. That's an 18 exactly. And that is going to be a D10, which is 7 plus 3, 10 points of bludgeoning.
10 points. Okay.
And the next attack's a miss.
Okay, but yeah, you connect again. It doesn't seem to be paying attention to you as it's trying to fend off something that you can't see. So you easily get in there and just crack a few more bones. You're in melee with that now. Okay. Anybody else?
All right. Mort and Barrios are going to run in side by side, which gives Barrios some.
Well, let me just check something. Can 3 people attack the other?
Yes, that's the max.
The other skill. Okay. Okay.
All right, cool. So Barrios gets bonuses for allies next to him. So if you're coming in, Wolf as well, you should tell me that right now.
He is coming in.
Okay, so
Shoulder
Barrios
to
will
shoulder.
get. Yep, he'll get a +2 to hit and his AC actually. Okay, so damn. I think Barrios, that first one misses, and the second one hits for that's only 4 points of piercing damage. Yes, piercing because it's a sclerosis spear.
Is that the bone chucker or the one fighting the stalker?
Bone chucker.
Okay, so it only does half of that.
Then Mort hits with a 19 for. Got to change pages here. Let's see. That's
You hit anyways, Mort, but you're going to get a bonus because you're invisible.
Oh, sweet.
Which you are now no longer, but yeah.
Yeah. So 11 points of pin damage for the first hit.
Okay.
And the second one is also a hit for 10 points of pin damage.
For another 5. Okay. So yeah, the pin is a little bit less effective than you want, but it is connecting. Like you're not, it's not just whiffing, you know what I mean? But you're just, you're like clattering amidst the rib cage, you know what I mean? That sort of thing.
And Sclerosis Spear is, I mean, I don't know if these guys have a resistance to magic in addition to the piercing thing, but Sclerosis Spear seems to work as well, right?
It is magic, right?
It is, yeah.
Yes, yeah, then it's working.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a +2.
Any other attacks?
Yeah. So Wolford is going to take his 2 attacks with the Black Iron Spear.
Against who?
John, do these guys count as humanoids? Probably not.
Nope.
Okay.
Against who?
All right. Against the Bone Chucker.
Okay.
So that first one is a 6 on the die, +8. That's 14. That's not going to hit. Second attack is 15 on a die. That's definitely going to hit for 16 points of damage.
Nasty, but that is unfortunately reduced down to 8 points of damage.
It still counts. I'll still take it.
But yeah, so you jam it right into its rib cage and shake him around a little bit. All right. That's everybody?
I think so.
I think so.
Yes.
All right, so their turn. The one is going to be well. Let's see. I'm going to say that the stalker is the most visible threat, but who else is on the one? Lothar is the only one engaged with the one that is fighting the right. Yeah, okay. So what I'm going to say
Correct.
is
Stalker,
that 1 to 4, it's going to stick with the stalker. 5 to 6, it's going to switch over to Lothar. Okay. It's going to stick with the stalker. And the other one is going to attack one of you guys. Let's see. So who's all in melee with it? Mort, Barrios, Wolford.
and Wolf. Yeah.
That's it. Those 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mort is
Okay.
no longer invisible.
And if the light in here is kind of dim, if we like shuttered our lock, it's a bit.
So what's your AC with the +2?
22.
22.
Well, it's -2 to hit. Either way.
Yeah, either way. We'll make it. We give it an AC. So you have an AC of 22.
Yeah.
Okay. It is going to crash down upon you with its two-handed sword.
Ooh.
You can also tell too that they are belching out those sonic blasts, but they're just not because the silence is an effect where you're fighting. And you also have the beeswax in. Okay, so right, here we go. That is just a miss. Just barely.
Nice.
It was definitely the umbral ashes that saved you there. As it couldn't quite get a beat on you, as it targets the
Good
smoke
job,
rather
man.
than your actual form. And the other one is going to attack the stalker. I'm going to roll I'm going to sort of judge like the power of the stalker and the power of the skeleton. I'm going to make a judgment call about like what the outcome of that battle is if you guys don't interfere with that whole thing. Okay. So I'm just going to let them have it out and then I'll sort of roll at the end. Okay. That was the round. Spells at the top and melee movement.
And
No
haste
spells
over
from
now?
Elizabeth.
And I think, is haste done now? I believe it might be.
It's a turn
3
thing,
turns expired. It's 3 turns total.
So
I cast it right before we opened the door.
Yeah,
We then closed the door.
Pretty good.
It's a turns
Oh,
are. Hold on.
Yeah.
Combat itself is always just 1 turn, so it's still in effect.
Oh,
for the rest of the combat. Okay, so now
Okay.
spells and melee movement declarations.
I'm still concentrating, so
Okay, nothing.
Stay in.
Okay, here we go. Roll for initiative. I got a 4.
I got with a +2 with the haste. I got a 6.
Very good. Okay, it's all you.
Sweet.
I'm gonna roll my fist first.
Yep.
Go ahead.
That is a whopping 5. Yeah, baby.
So it's a D6 then, right?
Another D6 again, but it's 4 damage. There you go.
Thanks.
4 damage. Okay. Got it. Okay. That's Bone Chucker, right?
Bone
Yeah,
chucker, I
Bone
think.
Chucker.
Yes, correct.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you guys are all crowded around Bone Chucker, but meanwhile, like coming at him from raining down upon him are these like fists that are just like crashing down upon. It does seem to affect it, battering away at his skull. Okay. Anybody else?
I'm going to go, melee, right?
Yep.
Up to you
We're
guys.
at melee? Ooh, nat 20, baby. Oh, bam!
We got Mike Dice Cam.
I think it's
I think
rolling
it's-
tonight.
It's gonna push it too hard one time.
All right. So, and that does nothing, right? That's just an auto hit, right?
Auto hit, yeah. Unless your weapon
Okay.
has some sort of special thing.
Nope. So then I just rolled a 3 + 3, 6 points.
What are you using?
That mace,
Well,
the finisher mace.
It does have a special thing.
Teeth.
Sigh.
It says reduces energy attacks by 1.
No,
It's
man.
+2 versus undead.
Just a mace has knockout. On a critical hit, the target must save versus paralysis or be knocked out for 1d6 turns.
Or you can knock out undead.
Target must be the attacker's size or yeah. Okay, never mind. Just be aware that is a thing. It won't work.
Yeah,
against
it's a thing. No, I know. It's cool. And then for my next attack, that's going to be a 21.
Yeah.
Which is a hit. So another 7 points of damage.
How much damage total?
So the first one was 6. The second one was 7. That is going to be a 13 bludgeoning.
All right, that guy is definitely like not looking good at all.
Excellent. All right. For the other guy, Mort, Oh, that's a miss, and that's a hit for 14 points with the pin. And I forgot to do this earlier, John, but this guy should save versus spells or be slowed. And then Barrios, that's a miss, and that's a hit for 10 points with the Sclerosis Spear.
Okay, so both of those are half damage. You did indeed slow it with the pin.
All right, cool.
So you're going to take another 5. So that's going to be... Got it. Okay. Both are not looking great at all.
Wolford's going to bring out that spear. Yep, Wolford's going to bring out the spear. Oh, that's a natural 1. That's not going to do anything. That's a natural 2. So he's not going to do anything with that either.
All right.
You're welcome, Mike. I gave, but Elizabeth is going to do something, that is going to make us all look stupid, because she's going to take out. She shakes her head as she remembers this. She takes out Yakin's bones, which makes enchanted or summoned creatures. It prevents them from taking melee attacks against us. So if these guys are in fact enchanted, she's going to take out Yakin's bones and walk in and I guess go over towards whichever one looks
Go to the bone
most,
chucker, because you don't want to mess up the
bone chucker.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So when you walk up with the holding Yakin's bones forth, like be gone, like it physically repels that skeleton, this giant skeleton, like that towers over Elizabeth, the bone chucker, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it staggers back against the wall, as you guys continue to press the attack.
Well done.
Nice.
I just want to say I have messed up that thing's kneecaps. All right, that's how goblins roll.
You very much have. Okay, that was the last of them, right? So now it's their turn. The one cannot attack in melee, right?
Right.
Okay.
Correct.
So what it is going to do instead is it's going to it's going to basically pop off its humerus and chuck it across the room.
Hilarious.
At Lothar. What's your AC, Lothar?
I don't find that humorous at all, John.
Oh, hey. It's actually going to pop off 2 different bones and chuck them both at you. What's your AC?
Slowed. It's been
slowed.
I know it's slowed, yeah.
Okay. So here's the question. What does shields do right now? Are they a +1 to armor class? Or are they a +2 to armor class? Are they not anything for armor class?
+1 armor class.
Okay, so my armor class is 17 then, plus whatever the Umbral Ashes do.
You weren't in that, sorry.
Okay, so I suck. 17.
You do suck.
Okay, so one of the bones hits you.
Oh, bummer.
Boner.
And it's going to hit you for 5 points of damage.
No bueno.
As it
no bueno at all.
Cracks you upside the head. But it's definitely trying to back away from everyone that's sort of surrounding it, fighting it right now. The other one, let's see if it attacks Lothar or the Stalker. It goes for Lothar. Okay, so just one attack with its sword.
Get off me with that mace.
It totally misses though. Bangs off of your shield. And then I'm going to roll. I'm going to roll a percentile for Stalker battle. Okay. So at the end of the round, the Stalker, which only Upior can see at this moment, basically takes like a massive, I don't know what it does. It takes a massive bite off of it and basically decapitates the skeleton, and the skeleton just goes crashing to the ground right in front of Lothar.
I turn around and I'm like, yeah, baby. Look at that.
So the one is down on the ground. And Bone Chucker is still beset on all sides by the rest of you guys. That is the end of the round. Top of the round is spells, melee movement. No? Okay. Initiative. I got a
Can
1.
we, John, is there a way to move so that since he's kind of like cowering, can we move to make room for another person? Or is it still just 3 up against him? Is
only 3 up against him? And if you want to move out of there, you've got to declare it right now.
No, man.
No, I'll stay.
Okay, I got a 1.
All right. You don't want to bring the A game. That's fine. You guys keep on, flailing away at it. I got an 8, John, with the haste bonus.
Okay, great.
I guess we're going first.
Yeah.
Do it, Mike. Hit him.
My turn. No, I can't because you guys were surrounding him, and I can't.
He didn't
So
move.
I will gently teabag the other skeleton.
I'm gonna roll.
It's terrible.
We have a real fixation last couple episodes with this. I'm gonna roll the pummeling fist.
Okay.
That is a 16.
Did we break you down?
3d6 hit points and stuns the opponent for 1 round. So 3d6. That is a 6. That is a 1. That is a 4. So
11.
7 and 4 is 11. 11 and it's stunned for a round.
Okay, so here's the deal. That's going to drop him down to 3 hit points. If he's stunned for a round, that means that all of your attacks are going to hit no matter what, and it can't retaliate. So that is the end of that. And
Sweet.
you make quick work of him. These so a turn goes by. After that turn goes by with the battle, the Umbral Ashes spell dissipates. Haste is still up, and so is Silence. And Silence is up for quite some time. And it was cast in an area, so unless you cast a spell magic, it's going to stay there until it's over. The Invisible Stalker, I guess you sent it to kill those things, so its job is done. So I think it disappears. I think it's done. So
Fine by me.
it winks it winks out of existence, and the ring doles again. Okay.
I do a very elaborate bow to it before it disappears.
Yeah.
I think it's for its service.
It gives you a dripping acid smile in return.
Good boy, it's a good boy.
Right. We're over our thing for our break. Should we take a break?
Yeah, that's a good plan. Okay, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back to finish this off. Okay, back again. Bladder's empty, beer's full. We took a late break, so we only have a few more minutes to play. Really well done with the battle. You definitely played that right with all of your really cool special abilities to minimize the amount of flack that you were going to get from that. So really, really well done. I also was telling Ted off air too that they had some more variable defenses that I was rolling very poorly on, which also so there's a little bit of luck there involved as well, but the vast majority of the success goes straight to you guys for playing it very smart. So well done.
Nice.
Again, so the aftermath here, the room is like just scorched all to hell, but you can tell here, you could also tell from back when Mort almost died a long time ago, that that plasteel is very, very resilient. So like there's scorch marks everywhere, but there doesn't seem to be any structural damage in the plasteel area of it. The floor now is littered though with the shards of not only the skeletons but also the 2 thrones, which apparently were blown to pieces. If you had to guess, the reason why the skeletons did not seem to be affected at all is because it takes like magic weaponry of some sort to affect them in any sort of harmful manner, which you guys all had, so that worked out well for you. But yeah, the structural mind only screwed up the room a little bit. Thankfully, that structural mind, the protection that magic affords to things prevented the structural mines from destroying the gear, which is sitting in that pit. Although most of the bones in there and the equipment have been blown to pieces. I'm also going to roll a quick, I'm going to say, because the mine wasn't detonated like in that pit over there. It's not a pit, by the way. It's just sort of like a different thing. But
Recessed.
I'm going to give a small chance, a 1 in 6 chance that the scrolls were destroyed in the blast. Okay, so 1 in 6, and they're fine. So you're good.
All right.
Okay.
Can we tell, John, by looking at the wall, like how far of a blast radius these things have? That might be good to know for the future.
Yeah. What was the page number for the thing again?
608.
608. Give me 1 sec. Definitely a good thing to know.
It must be like 60 feet if it is actually affecting that side of the room.
Mines. Oh, this is okay. So they can be altered to provide either a broad area effect damage in a 30-foot radius, which was we're going to assume what you did. That was a 30-foot radius. So very, very big. Or it could be a shaped charge capable of punching a 5-foot hole through 20 feet of rock.
Wow. Garbage pile.
Well.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Okay, so all that said,
I mean,
you have a bunch of stuff there. So what do you want to do?
Not to be like a nudge, but then I'm going to say that if it's the chairs would be out of the blast radius.
No, it's a 30-foot radius, so it's 60 feet diameter.
Yeah, and you threw it right against the door.
Irish
We
door.
dropped it right at the bottom of the door. So, ergo, if I screwed up, it would end right at my silence thing.
He tossed it in right where the skeletons were. It was the point. He wasn't throwing it like a grenade. He was just dropping it in the hole of the iris door as it opened.
Okay, sure. Okay, the thrones are still there then.
Okay.
Yay.
Yay, Mike's a nudge. Okay, so Dave,
I have the iron circlet on, and I would like to survey the room, the magic items, the now existing thrones, I suppose, for magic.
Yeah. Okay. So the thrones are not magical. They would have pinged. I would have told you that in the clairvoyance.
Just thrones. Okay.
Now that the rudishva skeletons are destroyed, that enchantment has also disappeared. Okay. They're no longer magical. They're just bones. However, so then also, I'm just going to give you the list of stuff that's here. First of all, there are ancient coins. There's 572 ancient silver pennies. So that's exactly like 572 modern GP worth of stuff and load. And there are 399 ancient gold solidi, which means that's 3,990 GP and XP worth of gold solidi. But that's also a lot more slots because they're heavy, right? That's for the non-magical treasure. Then everything else here is magical. There are 2 scrolls. One is a scroll of protection, which I might want to make clear can be used by any class. Scrolls of protection are not spell scrolls. This is a scroll of protection from petrification. So literally any class can just read that off and they would be protected. Okay. In addition, there is a scroll with pour one out for Onweir illusionist spells on it, but which can now be cast by any magic user with the new rules, right? So Upior, you'll be happy. We have it's a single scroll that has the following spells on it: Shadow Door, Permanent Illusion, Shades, Veil, like a bridal veil, and Alter Reality.
Ooh.
Holy smokes.
Very powerful illusionist spells.
Is Shades Veil one spell or 2?
2 different spells: Shades and Veil and Alter Reality. In addition, there are 3 potions. I think they're all unique. I don't think you've seen any of them before. And then there is a beautiful ring, which appears to be an Ouroboros, like it's like basically like shaped like a snake that sort of entwines around itself and eats its own tail to form a ring. Quite beautiful. Obviously magical. You can tell Upior with the circlet. And then the pièce de résistance. We have 3 pretty top of the line sort of stuff. So we have a beautiful set of ring mail. Ring mail, and I guess in the Byzantine sort of way, or whatever that means. But it is it's the hauberk of it has a phoenix sort of not embossed, but it like the rings are like sort of colored in a way that kind of gives the impression of a phoenix across the front of it. So it's like with the beak sort of turned to the side, and then the wings spread and the talons out, that sort of thing. And the phoenix itself on the rings actually seems to have flames that sort of dance across it that are very, very small. They wouldn't really like give you away in anything but exact like total darkness. You know what I mean? Like they don't really exude any light, but you can see that they appear to be real flames that sort of every once in a while, like on a loop, sort of ripple slightly across them. Okay.
And this is goblin sized, right? Goblin sized ring mail?
No, dwarven sized.
It is not, but you tell me what you want to do. And that's it for the.
Does it give off actual heat, John? Does it give off like is it radiating heat?
No, it does not actually. No.
Okay. No,
but
that's
to everyone's
good,
eyes, it certainly looks like, and it obviously radiates as magic. There is
That means it won't show up on infravision.
There's a beautiful magical crossbow that has been so sanded so strongly that it like has like this just shine to it. Like there's no like hard edges to it. Just like a beautifully shaped piece of wood. Almost makes it look like of elven make, but its magical nature sort of belies the fact that it's not elven. It's light and just a beautiful piece of equipment. And then the big puppy is this staff, black petrified ebony. So it's like stone almost, twisted and gnarled like an old tree branch, crowned with an eagle's skull on top, and it's dripping with tiny bird skulls that clatter constantly if you pick it up. Okay, it looks extremely metal. And you see, assuming Upior is the one that sort of investigates it.
Well, I do. I do indeed.
On the eagle's skull, imprinted on the forehead of the skull between the eye sockets, there is something carved into it, like a phrase, if you want to look at it.
I do.
It is in Mithric, and it says, Mors Aeterna, everlasting death.
Ooh.
Dang, dude.
It's a little dark.
Hey, Lothar, come here real quick.
I'm still smarter than you. I step away from him.
Wow. That's an awesome haul.
It's really amazing.
Oh, this is huge. This is huge. Hold on. I completely biffed something when you were approaching the treasure pile. When you enter into that area, right, you can all... Upior definitely feels it the most, like there's enchantment going on, like all around you, right? Like you're surrounded by enchantment. When you look directly upwards, you can see that the exact dimensions of that of this area, which is like what I say, 40 by 40. It actually rises up into the darkness that you can't even see any further. Like it goes all the way up past any sort of light that you're able to protrude, and it's like a shaft that goes that entire thing. Okay. In addition, when you kind of step in there, you feel slightly lighter in your feet, like as if gravity doesn't quite have as much of a pull here. All right.
Weird. We got 5 minutes. You want me to tie a rope to my waist and float up there with these boots?
Yes, I absolutely do. But
Okay.
It's daylight up there, right? Because we just woke
I
up.
think so,
right?
yeah.
So we know it doesn't go outside, right? And John, you're talking about thousands of feet up, right? As far as we can tell.
Well, you don't know.
It just fades off into
I don't
darkness,
know.
probably,
We
right?
can see, 30 or 40 feet.
It at least goes
Let's
up to
do
30 feet. Yeah.
Let's tie some rope to me and we'll look real quick while we're here. You
I
wanna
got
know?
50 feet.
I think
Wait,
we're
Scott,
50 feet.
Doris got 50.
We got 150 feet of rope.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, Lisbeth has 100 on her. Wolford has 50.
That's
I have
250.
rope.
All right, 250 feet, deerskin boots, continual light amulet. I float up.
Okay. All right.
And he
So
dies at the end of the session.
you start. How much?
250 feet.
250 feet. Okay. So you guys watch from the bottom as like that rope just slowly starts to unspool as he goes up off into the darkness, right? And so you got your continual light, right, Upior? So like you rise as fast as you possibly go with your boots of levitation, and it just seems to be white sheathed marble the entire way, but the grout in between the marble is all silver. Okay, which seems to be unique. You've seen white marble passageways before, right? By the rudishva, but you've never seen one with silver grout. You're floating up, and then you finally reach the extent of your 250 feet, and you're like, dunk, and it's still going up. Okay.
It's just featureless other than the silver grout all the way up.
For a test case, how quickly would it take for me to reactivate the deerskin boots if I deactivated them right now? Deactivated them.
I don't
Before I hit
think
the ground.
I don't. I would make you make
Typically-
a roll to have the presence of mind because you'd be in free fall. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Typically,
wanted
you
to
have to
test if there was
fall-
like a low gravity in this shaft because you mentioned it was lighter, so I was going to deactivate. But if it's going to risk me falling to my death,
I would say you have
do
a
it.
3 in 6 chance of having the presence of mind to not freak out because you're in free fall. Do you know what I mean?
So you're 250 feet up though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I always thought like the general idea was that in a round you fall like about 100 feet. Like you can fall 100 feet and hit the ground.
I'm going to
The
abstract
reason I
it
say
though.
it is
It's
like-
like if you don't make the roll, if you don't have the presence of mind, it's an instant death.
Well, I got you. I guess my question would be, what is the purpose of the feather fall spell if not to cast if you're falling, right? If I'm intentionally deactivating them with the intent of falling and then deactivating and
that's true. That's
reactivating them,
true.
it would be a plan.
That's
would it
fine. You
not?
convinced me. It's fine.
Can I just quickly take one of those skulls that's there and just throw it up and see if it falls down slower than usual? That
It falls down normally.
I think it will
Okay.
do the same for me, but I'm going to deactivate it and then reactivate it moments afterwards and see if I fall to normal momentum.
Yeah, so you fall at a normal momentum and then
Okay.
you activate it again.
Or I'll come back down and say, we need more rope.
Okay.
I mean, I could go up without it, but
And
I'm
no
not sure why
passages,
you
right,
didn't.
David? You didn't see any secret compartments or anything up there? Secret
nothing was
doors?
seen.
What
I
was the
do
rope
think
actually for, David? For us to climb up if you get to the top?
to fix a rope in case I got to the top. I mean, very easy elevator use case. I memorized floating disc. We sleep down here, and I can float us up there in the same fashion without the rope. I mean, I can keep going right now if you want me
I think
to.
we
I
should
just
keep going. Let's
okay.
find out what it is.
I'll untie and hopefully not die, and I'll keep going up for a bit. We've got
You know what
one
you
more
could do
minute of the
is-
session.
You could put a python in the wall and then just take some of the rope up so that we're not holding it anymore.
I'll just untie.
Okay.
It's fine.
Off
I'll
you go.
untie.
we all
and-
think
and I'll-
we all think you're dead. As the
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, we all go home.
I'll keep going until I see anything.
Okay.
I'll
So
go another 250 feet. We'll say that.
all right, you
if I
go. You're at 250 feet when you detach from the rope. You keep rising up. You go for another 50 feet. The shaft continues beyond that point. It continues upward. However, at 50 feet, there is a lip that is 40 feet wide to the west. And as your head sort of reaches over that
I die.
reaches over that lip, and your continual light sort of shines forth, you can see that to the west there are 2 thrones, and sitting in those thrones are 2 rudishva skeletons whose eyes spark with an orange glow.
I go
Upon-
down.
upon seeing you. Yes. And their mouths open with the throat singing that is about to burst forth with a sonic blast. But you do what?
I deactivate my boots so I can fall fast.
Okay.
Free
Yeah.
fall.
Yeah. So you can hear above you as you immediately go free fall. You can hear like that, bah, like that,
Yeah.
that heavy blast. But it doesn't affect you because you immediately drop out of sight, and you catch yourself like before you hit the ground. Last thing I want to do is, because I assume that you would do so, just so we can kind of start fresh next time, is you would search that passageway to the left, right?
Yes.
I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
like to. Yeah, more definitely.
I was
interested in
going to
that.
try and suggest that when David was doing his exploration thing,
Yeah.
but
Okay, so we'll say at the same time that happens. David, Upior alights upon the bottom of the shaft safely again, reports what happens while you guys explore to the west. So that goes for about 10 feet before it opens up into a 30-foot by east to west by 20-foot north to south plasteel chamber. You're entering in from the southern portion of the eastern wall, and dominating it is a basin, softly gurgling. The basin itself is made out of a black granite that is about 15 feet in diameter and about 3 foot deep, and it's directly in the center of the room. The basin itself is filled with an opalescent, sparkly liquid. You would say almost silvery in nature. Okay, and it's pretty much completely opaque, and it's slightly
Did
gurgling.
the shaft is magnetized, guys, in some fashion because the seams of all of the stone are silvered?
maybe.
I mean, but I didn't think
Oh,
silver
yeah.
was affected by magnets.
You
I don't know if
dip
it's literally
yourself-
silver, is what I'm saying, but
If you dip yourself in the pool, you'll shoot up the shaft like a rail gun.
I think it's an elevator system. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Just
I could be
to
wrong.
check it, Wolford's going to stick his finger in and do a drop of the liquid on his tongue.
So it tastes like metallic and awful. Like it tastes like really, really gross.
Yeah.
The
Okay,
thing
he
too,
spits it out.
on your tongue, it actually rolls off your tongue like quicksilver. Like it doesn't seem to, it's very easy to sort of like when you're like, like it immediately just sort of like falls off your tongue and onto the ground, leaving your tongue bare.
It's disgusting. Okay, gross.
Heavy metal poisoning, baby. Enjoy that.
It'll take a while to kick in. It's fine.
Anything else you want to do
Doesn't
before we
have that long.
before we quit?
Who wants to test it? Come on, Mike.
What?
Come on. What's more riding the lightning than literally riding this?
All right.
I
Mort will
heard
dip
about
his
your
entire
friends up
hand.
there. I'm not going up there.
Mort will dip his hand in the liquid,
Mhm.
and when he pulls his hand up, is it like sticking to him, or
Yeah, it completely coats your hand.
And then he'll go back over into the room with the silver grout and hold his hand in.
When you hold your
I want
hand
to be
in,
ready to grab him
Pat-
if he flights up.
past that plane, like where it changes
Yeah.
from plasteel to like the normal white marble sort of thing.
Yeah.
Your hand like whips upward.
Yep.
And it doesn't like it doesn't rip your arm out or anything like that. But you're able to like yank it back across that plane and everything is normal.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
Where the hell
It
does
makes me
this
feel like all
go?
those bodies at the bottom of the pit are people who calculated badly on how long it's going to last or whatever.
Or
And
we're
remember-
stunned up above by those guys.
Yeah.
Fell down.
And
yeah.
just a reminder for Upior too that even though he did encounter 2 more of those skeletons at approximately 300 feet up from the ground, that the shaft continued up above him into darkness as well.
Yeah. I have that.
Okay, that's good. So learned some stuff, got some cool treasure, beat some mass. So all around, good job.
That is bonkers, man.
Yeah,
Crazy.
good stuff.
Can we? This is just an XP grab. Can we also just use the rug to quickly get that treasure back into our hoard before the Pierre's gone? I mean,
Yeah,
great
I would say
idea.
so.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a big deal. I would say it would
Then
probably
we
take
don't
an
have to
extra
carry it,
turn
and
just because
it's
it's like
back-
loose coin. Is that okay?
Yeah. We just
yeah, sure.
pile
So
it up
that-
in our hats and dump it back at the stash.
In that case, so 2 turns are going to go by. We're going to end the game at 8:30 a.m. on the 21st. The things to note, first of all, the haste then goes away. So haste is no longer active. Silence is still active in that area, though, so we should be aware of that. It is the 21st, so the stalker was used. I can't believe how well that worked out for you. But that's reset, so now it has to charge again. The other thing that happens on the 21st is back in the debut.
No.
There's a certain little lady who has fully recuperated from her resurrection and now must make a choice. But we'll leave that for off screen for now.
Nice.
Yeah, that'll do it. Okay, we'll call it there. So that was episode 101 of the Halls of Arden Vul.
Amazing.
Thank you
Wow.
for watching and or listening to 3D6 Down the Line, the most criminally underwatched actual play series on the internet. Please do not forget to do your duties, which is to like and subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notifications every time we publish new material. If you've got a little bit of extra cash, think about hooking up with our Patreon. You'll get a couple of cool bennies, some of which is access to our private Discord channels, secret private Discord channels. Otherwise, the Discord server is free to join, and come join us for some really cool and fun conversation with lots of really cool and fun people. In addition, please check out our publication, Feats of Exploration, which is a fun alternate XP award system. And thanks as always to all of our explorers, delvers, and conquerors. Mike has the distinct pleasure of reading those names aloud, and I just remembered I forgot to give Mike that list. Mike, I'm posting it right now in our usual spot.
Got it. I was going to read
Yeah.
from the 16th, from the February 16th.
Oh no,
but-
we've got some new people. So
new people.
yep. So there is the
There we
list
go.
for Mike. Take it away with the conquerors, Mike.
Oh my God. I hate you people so much. You are a bunch of
You got to read
All
the
right.
names, Mike.
This is
Mike, these are our friends.
they're
These are
paying-
supporters.
they're paying good money for this.
These are
We're paying
the
very
people
good
that
money for
want
this,
me-
Mike.
They want to punish me, man. All right, here we go. So our new conqueror is Eric Tsunami, MD. Thank you. Rodishvin Sam Dillon, Greg Dieselhorse, Mike Small, DMW 71, Richard Barton, James Boyle, Stephen BKK, Doc Jones 73, Rudishva Jackson Bates, Rudishva Coagulatavan Grackle. Yes. Yes. John Hooker, Kayla Ripley Wolf, Zach Hall, the Radishvan, that's not even spelled right, Chief of the Radishva Navy. Zaps, Papa Helioglobulus, the Radishvan Squad.
It's so good.
You got this, Mike. You got it, man.
Yes. Squagulot DM, Zach Shiflet, Mecha Squagulot 605, Rubishvin Rudishva, Dave Rosser Jr., Rudish Andrew, Dakota Nielsen, Cam, Steve, thank you, Cam, Steve Quisenberry, Brad and Aiden. It's pronounced Rudishvin, Rudishvaj, Rudishvin Meat Machine, Tom Leary, Phil. Forgot Taksha Rudish Valas, Terry Barney, Eric Lawson. Man, how do you say Rudishva and D? Paizo, Ted Gass, James Doig, Rudishva Lover 69420 Blaze It.
69420 Blaze It, baby. Come on.
That's David. That's David.
Jesus, I'm gonna have a stroke, man. I'm gonna have a stroke. All right, Andrew Schroeder, a Rodishva, Michael Schilling, Stefano Di Maiolo, he wouldn't hurt me. Rudish Shama, Rube Gravishriel, Alicia Rashid's Rudisha Dishes, the Hexballer twin, Rodishvin Dandler, Summon Toast, 2 Rud 2 Ishvin, Dungeon Heart Adam, Scott Rudishva Early, Varsley, Rodishva Jack, Rodishvin Spinning Back Kick, Dire Grew.
My jaw hurts from laughing.
You're almost there, Mike.
Oh my God.
You can do it.
Oh my God.
I see the lights in the tunnel, Mike.
Matthew Mattis, Matt the Flying Rudishvin Wall, Matt Mason, Matt Rudishvin Gardner, Matt Koenig, and Matt the Rudishvin Young.
Well done.
Good job, Mike.
Good job, Mike.
Oh my God. I need to lie down.
Huge props to all of our conquerors for taking me up on my offer to change your profile name to something with Rudishva just to make Mike's life live miserable. That went over like gangbusters.
Oh my God. My face is hurting right now.
I have pain like behind my ears right now.
Yes. So
I'm
thank
sweating.
you, as always, especially to our conquerors of all nights, especially to our conquerors tonight, for your continued support. We really do appreciate it. And Mike loves you all, even if he hates you right now in particular. So thanks, everyone. Thanks for watching and never listening. And everyone have a great week. And we will see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, John.
Thanks, John.